be as confident and direct. And I say that to say, every time you go into a business discussion, you have to be like that. I was talking to somebody and they were telling me about this great idea, this person that they boys, homeboys, cousin had, and blah, blah, blah. It was a 2-minute conversation. You know why? Because at the end of the day, they was like, yo, they need somebody like you. And I said, okay, what's the budget? To see, it don't, and people say, oh, well, you know, she all about money. Well, you coming to me for my product. Right. I'm not going to come into your store and pick up your product off the shelf and put it in my purse because it's stealing. Right. So I'm not going to allow you to pimp and exploit what's in here because you feel like it ain't stealing because it's just information that's in my head. But it's still something of value, or you wouldn't have came to me.
Absolutely.
Or anybody.
Absolutely.
So what you got to understand is you got to realize that when you are the person that's spending the money, you must be in a position of power. You must be in a position of control of that situation, because if not, now we got a pimping situation.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got to be able to watch that whole thing too, Tonya, of the person who's trying to make you their friend. It's business. It's business all day long. They're trying to make you, to convince you that they care about you. They don't know you. Those are things that you look for when a person just, oh, well, I'm just here to just help and to, I want to see you just be great. And see, all of that, those are signs to me you're doing the most. This is about business, all right? You're not here. I don't want to go to dinner with you right away. This is about business. And you have to be smart enough to recognize the fact that when you're going into these businesses where you're getting ready to spend money and you're getting ready to try and build a business relationship, when a person tries to be too friendly, that's what the pimp does. We don't need to be talking about your personal life like that. And you have to guide that conversation. You have to guide that conversation. With what I do, even as a pastor, it's a little bit more hands-on. It's a little bit more involved because they're usually emotional.
Don't you tell these people you be hands-on. They're going to get it wrong.
Well, no, ain't no me too here. Yeah, thank you so much. I don't lay hands in no meetings like that. I don't do it. I ain't no me too over here now. No. Thank you. You my brand protector. Yeah. But what we do is we have to spend that time talking about maybe more personal issues. However, there's still parameters with that. There's still parameters with that. So what you got to do is to go in with your parameters already established. As Tonya said, guard it, doing not only just Clint said, Reverend Leon, love. That's why crazy. Listen, you have to go in really recognizing that the potential is there for you to be exploited. It's always present. Just as you and Clinton said, is that you deal with them like they're a crook, and that's not being super suspicious. That's making sure you're grounded in truth, and that is the possibility they're here to make money by any means necessary. And so a person that can talk directly to you about their costs, you can almost trust them. They're not playing with you. They talk directly to you. Like you said, Sonny, what is your budget? Okay, well, this is what I charge. If that's a direct statement to you, that person ain't playing with you. They're not trying to smooth you over and press your pain point to the point of manipulation. They're simply saying, yo, this was what it's going to cost. I can produce it, and this is what I can do. And they lay that out for you. You see, so that's why I think it's so important to have this conversation, because I know years and years and years ago, my granddaddy helped me to understand I needed a car. And during that time, we were going to buy pay here lots with high interest rates. And so my granddad was like, so where you going to get the car? And I told him where I was going. He said, well, son, sit down. He said, now I'm going to teach you something. This was a man with a 3rd grade education. All right. Hard worker. But someone sat down and told him, he said, let me tell you what they're going to do. First of all, you're going over there in the passenger seat because somebody's got to take you there because you don't have a car. They've already scoped you out. They already know you're desperate. They also know that the driver does not want to sit here all day while you go test drive cars. So they're going to just really press that issue, and they're going to wear you out. And he began to really shape my mind around how manipulators operate, how they use that stuff and exploit you. He said, the reason that you're messed up now is because you got a car with a 19% interest rate, because you didn't come to me and you didn't talk to me about it and let me help you. You did what you thought you were supposed to do. You were desperate. You need a car. Now the car, you go in upside down. You're already upside down. You're never going to get out of this thing for real. And so he says, you bought this car 3 or 4 times if you pay it off. And so these are things that I'm saying that we're trying to say to you. You don't have to. This is about brand protection. This is really about protecting your brand and protecting yourself in the process, because this thing can cause you to not trust yourself anymore. You won't trust your decision making anymore. You won't trust people anymore. You're going to mess up relationships because you're now suspicious, overly suspicious, and so guarded that you won't make right decisions. So that's why I think it's important to let's break this down so you'll understand that we've all been vulnerable. We've all been taken, but now we know better, and you ain't pulling that over on us. No.
And here's the thing. Nobody is above falling prey to a lot of these situations. You know,
that's
like
right.
I said, we've been interviewing people. We've been kind of reflecting on 2018, and the thing that we said is that because we don't do real perspectives all the time, you know, we like, okay, we gonna jump in here or there as we see pockets of things that come up either in his business and my business or any type of collaborations that we have together, to really just have a conversation about it. Because when people come to me, I want them to come to me whole. Can I just be real?
Yeah, definitely.
I want my clients that are coming to me, like, I'm doing one of the things that I stopped doing, or one of the services, I stopped providing direct services to startups, right? Because I realized I could not meet their needs. I can't meet your needs. I can provide a couple of things, but startups need a little bit more coaching. They need a lot more support. They need more than I could give with my business model, the way that my business was going. Now, having said that, guess what? There was kind of like a lag though, and a hole, because that was my target market for several years. Those were my primary people that I served. Now that I've moved away from that, they still come because people know me in that market. And so I could be the pimp, right? That says, hey, well, all right, you got $5,000 to put towards establishing your business. Let me get 4.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Or I could tell them, listen, I want you to go to your small business development center. I'm going to write this down, right? When you get there, tell them this is what you want. Then come back and talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to tell you who else to go see, right? I don't do the work. I could do the work, pimp, take their money, provide them the service. But why do that when I could redirect them to a free service? Because at the end of the day, what ends up happening is those dollars end up at some point circulating back to or through my office some type of way.
Absolutely.
I've helped them save that money. I've turned people away and said, look, you don't need me right now. I want you to take your money, go see XYZ CPA. I want you to talk to them, pay for a consultation, talk to them about what do you need to be doing right now as a startup. Let them look at your financials. Let them look at your business plan. Let them tell you from a tax perspective what you need to be doing right now so that come tax season, you're good to go. I'm telling them, listen, take those dollars and go see Mario, pay for a session so that you can really have a good idea and come up with a plan how you're going to deal with the impact that this new extra responsibility is going to have on your family, on your relationship, quite frankly, if you're single, on your ability to date. right?
Yeah.
You got to think it like you got to have somebody that you can trust, that you can talk about that type of stuff to. Because
Absolutely.
these are very real issues. And the reason that we're bringing them up in this context is that people coming to me, people coming to Mario that's been pimped in these very situations, right?
Yeah.
There are women, there are men whose spouses and significant others, they don't understand this entrepreneurial journey, right? So you got the pimp waiting in the wings to say, well, shoot, I'll support you.
Yeah.
You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? Like she batting
Absolutely.
her eyes because you telling her that your wife doesn't support you. It's all geared towards getting you off of your game, right? They're all distractions, but there are also things that really could lead to the demise of not just your business, but then all these personal things that are happening in your life. And so that's why we want to tell you guys, you got to be aware of pimping on every single level. And brand protection is more than just copyrights, trademarks. I know y'all probably tired of hearing me say this, but really, y'all know that. You don't need to pay LeTonya Moore or any other lawyer or any other business coach to tell you that you need a copyright, a trademark, you got an invention, that you need a patent. You know that. Y'all watch enough court TV or judge whoever to know you got to have certain contracts in place. I mean, come on. You know that. It really comes down to, what do I want to be in the marketplace? How do I protect myself from being exploited? That's what you come to us for. Everything else you can find online. If you got a contract and you like, man, this don't smell good. I've had people that I know that are very well versed in certain contracts. They've reached out to me and said, look, this smell bad and I done seen 5 things that's wrong. Take a second look. I need a second pair of eyes to see, what do you see? I may find 2 or 3 things that they didn't see, or I may see something different. So we talk about that, right? But at the end of the day, they had somebody that they trusted that they could bring their client stuff to and get some trusted information.
And Tanya, let me add this real quick, and just to that point, don't be afraid to ask for help, because a part of this is pride. A part of this is really pride, that we're looking at, where you think you want to know everything and that you know what you're doing because you read something online. You can't be so proud that you don't ask for help.
Yeah.
And I think that that's going to be very, 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 very critical, that you're not afraid to say, this is not my area. So I'm going to have to get a second set of eyes on this to make sure that I'm not so vulnerable that I'm overlooking something or misreading or misunderstanding something. In case you need an example, think about the Toni Braxtons. Think about all the music she recorded that she didn't own. Think about how many people took all these artists, TLC. You see, they were getting in the business, selling tons of music, and yet they weren't making any money. So this is why it's important. And don't be afraid to, if you're going to spend any money, spend money on understanding before you get to these people, so that you understand. Like when I get in their office, I know, I'll give you a perfect example. One year I wanted a Tahoe, right? So what I decided was, based on what my grandma taught me, I was not going to go in there and spend any more than 2 hours. I had already found the calculator. I knew my credit score. I knew what I should have been paying in interest. I knew with my credit rating, I could get a 0% interest rate at that point on that vehicle. By the time we got to the finance office, I told her on a piece of paper, this is what the note should be every month. She looked at me and asked me, where did you get that from? I said, that doesn't matter. This is what it needs to be. See, it shocked her that I had done my due diligence. So you're not going to sit in here and tell me I need to add this and add that. And no. No. Before I get there, I'm going to be equipped. And I think ultimately that's the critical piece, is that you're going to need a lawyer, but you also know there's some things you can cover for free prior to getting to the lawyer or prior to getting to the CPA that you're going to need, so that when you get there, you're not wasting anybody's time either.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So we wanted to hop on and guys have this conversation. I just want to encourage everybody. as you're looking into the end of 2018 and the